Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to be talking all about Sicilian wine.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be really fun.
Sounds great.
So we're really trying to understand what makes Sicilian wine so unique.
Mm-hmm.
We're going beyond just the typical, wine knowledge.
Right.
And to help us out, we're going to be using excerpts from Sicilia. Il dos vulcões e dos vinhos e guia enologico.
Oh, wow.
It's this really awesome guidebook that really gets into the heart of what makes Sicilian wine so special.
Cool.
So I think one of the things that really stood out to me
Yeah.
when I was reading this guidebook was just like the landscape.
Yeah.
It's so dramatic. You have, Mount Etna, this active volcano looming over these vineyards,
It's true.
and it's creating this landscape that is unlike any other wine region.
It's pretty amazing.
And the guidebook describes it as a symphony of aromas and flavors.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and I think that's really spot on.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to picture it, vineyards on a volcano.
Yeah.
But how does all that volcanic activity actually impact the taste of the wine?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I mean, think of it this way.
Okay.
You're tasting the earth itself in the wine,
Okay.
and that's what we call minerality.
Okay.
And volcanic soil, it's packed with all these incredible minerals. You have potassium, you have magnesium,
Wow.
and phosphorus, and that all contributes to like a boulder structure in the wine,
Oh, interesting.
almost like a salty, stony quality.
Wow.
And then you've got the volcanic ash, which acts like this natural soil conditioner.
Right.
It improves drainage, but it also helps retain moisture.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's all kind of connected.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Now, the guidebook also mentioned that Sicily has this mosaic of terroirs.
Yes.
So we're not just talking about one type of volcanic wine here.
Oh, definitely not.
Okay.
Each subregion has its own special little microclimate and soil composition.
Right.
So you're going to get this whole spectrum of wine styles.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Like take Etna, for example.
Right.
The vineyards there are at high altitude,
Oh, wow.
and they produce these really elegant wines with these incredible spice notes and like a vibrant acidity.
Oh, wow.
The guidebook highlights Nerella mascalesa as like the star grape here,
That's cool.
known for those unique volcanic notes that we were just talking about.
I'm adding that to my list to try. That sounds so good.
Yeah, you should definitely check it out.
What other regions should we be on the lookout for?
Well, there's Marsala,
Oh, yeah.
world famous for its fortified wines.
Mhm.
They age it using this really cool system called the Solera system,
Okay.
where you blend older and younger wines together, which
Yeah.
creates these really complex flavors.
Wow.
So it's like you're tasting layers upon layers of
Oh.
history.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Marsala is really special.
Okay, so we have Etna, we have Marsala.
Right.
What else? What else is there?
Then you have Pantelleria,
Okay.
this volcanic island where the vineyards literally cling to the slopes.
Wow.
It's a truly breathtaking sight.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, and they cultivate Zebibo grapes there.
Okay.
It's a type of Moscato. And they make these incredible, sweet, concentrated wines.
Wow.
And then finally you have Vittoria,
Oh.
home to Sicily's only DOCG wine.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, it's called Cerasuolo di Vittoria,
Okay.
a blend of Nero d'Avola and Frappato.
I may have to write all these down.
Definitely worth seeking out.
Wow, the diversity is incredible.
It is.
The guidebook calls the range of Sicilian grapes a kaleidoscope of aromas and flavors.
That's a great way to put it.
And I'm starting to really see why.
Yeah.
So speaking of grapes, can we dive into some specific ones?
Of course, let's do it.
Okay, let's start with the whites.
All right.
What are some that we should know about?
Well, you have Catarratto. That's the most planted white grape in Sicily.
Oh, cool.
Super versatile with lovely citrus and mineral notes.
Oh, that sounds refreshing.
It is.
What else?
And then there's Grillo.
Oh,
Think
fun.
bright citrus with a touch of tropical fruit and floral hints.
That sounds nice.
Very aromatic.
Okay, so we have Catarratto, we have Grillo. What other white grapes should we be looking for?
Well, there's Inzolia.
Okay.
It's known for its elegance
Hmm.
and delicate floral aromas.
Lovely.
And then there's Caricante,
Okay.
found on Mount Etna,
Oh, wow.
known for its sharp acidity and aging potential.
Nice.
And finally, there's Zibibo,
Oh, yeah.
which we touched on earlier,
Right.
bringing those exotic aromas and sweetness, especially in wines from Pantelleria.
Okay, I think I'm ready for the reds now.
Okay, let's do it.
What are some standout grapes that we should be keeping an eye out for?
So you've got Nero d'Avola,
Okay.
considered Sicily's flagship grape.
Cool.
It produces wines with rich, dark fruit flavors,
Mm-hmm.
bold structure.
Okay.
Think like black cherry plum,
Wow.
even a hint of spice.
Okay, that sounds delicious.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's Norella Mascalese, which we discussed earlier.
Right.
With those vibrant red fruit flavors and
Mhm.
intriguing volcanic notes. It's like tasting a piece of the landscape.
That's a good way to put it.
What other reds should we explore?
Well, there's Frappato.
Okay.
Brings a delightful lightness to the blend with those juicy red fruit flavors and a refreshing character.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah, perfect for a warm evening,
Okay.
maybe with some fresh seafood.
What else?
And then you have Perricone,
Okay.
a bit more robust with powerful tannins, spice, and fantastic aging potential.
It's amazing how Sicilian wines manage to balance these bold, powerful flavors with a sense of freshness and vibrancy.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the magic of Sicilian winemaking.
Yeah,
It's a dance between power and finesse,
totally.
reflecting the island's own dynamic character.
You know, it's fascinating to think that winemaking in Sicily dates back to the ancient Greeks,
Oh, yeah,
as the guidebook mentions.
it's true.
That's quite a legacy.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
It makes you wonder how all those ancient influences still impact the wines we see today.
It's really interesting to think about. You know, it's not just about grapes and soil. It's
Yeah.
about history and tradition.
Totally.
Yeah. So, for example, the guidebook highlights how Sicilian winemakers blend these ancient techniques like concrete tank fermentation and indigenous yeasts
Yep.
with modern technology like temperature control
Right.
and specific types of oak aging.
So they're kind of marrying the old with the new.
Yeah, it's this beautiful marriage of tradition and innovation.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So it's not just about preserving the past, it's about evolving and adapting those traditions for today's world.
That's a good point.
That's pretty cool.
And there's another modern trend in Sicily I think you'll find interesting.
Okay.
The guidebook mentioned a rise in natural and biodynamic wines,
Oh, absolutely.
which aligns with that global shift towards sustainable practices.
Yeah, sustainability is something that we're always trying to learn more about.
It's important.
Can you break down what makes these wines so special?
Well, it's all about minimal intervention. You know, natural wines, they're made with indigenous yeasts.
Right.
No additives.
So you're really letting the grapes and the land speak for themselves.
Exactly. And then biodynamic goes even further.
Okay.
You know, following the rhythms of nature to create this self-sustaining ecosystem in the vineyard.
So in a way, these wines are a pure expression of the terroir.
You got it.
Okay, cool. Reflecting that unique environment where they're grown.
Precisely.
And that's something that really resonates with today's wine lovers.
Yeah, I can see why.
I think so.
You know what's so cool about this deep dive is that we're not just learning facts about Sicilian wine. We're getting a sense of the place,
Right.
the history, the passion that goes into every bottle.
It's a story.
It is.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And what makes exploring wine so rewarding,
Yeah.
it's a journey that connects us to people, places, and traditions.
Well said.
The cue.
And we're just getting started.
That's right. We're back. And, before we jumped into part 2, we were talking about how Sicilian winemaking dates back to the ancient Greeks.
Oh, yeah, it goes way back.
It's amazing to think about the journey these wines have taken over the centuries.
Yeah, I know. It's a testament to the enduring allure of this island and its wines.
Yeah.
Imagine Sicilian wines being enjoyed all across the Roman Empire.
Wow.
The Romans considered Sicily their breadbasket.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they weren't wrong.
That's so cool. It makes you wonder how all those different cultures that passed through Sicily influenced the wines that we see today.
For sure. I mean, you can really see the layers of history in these wines.
Yeah. It's not just about grapes and soil. It's about history
Yeah,
and tradition.
totally.
Yeah.
Like, take the Arabs, for instance.
Okay.
The guidebook points out how skilled they were at water management,
Oh, wow.
especially in Sicily's hot climate.
That's really important.
Oh, it's crucial. And they introduced these sophisticated irrigation systems that are still relevant for winemakers today.
Wow. So those ancient techniques are still playing a role
Oh, for sure.
in modern winemaking.
Well, you see it everywhere.
I'm sensing a theme here,
Yeah.
this blend of old and new that seems to define Sicilian wine.
Yeah, it's a real hallmark of Sicilian winemaking.
So cool.
You know, even later during the Middle Ages, when the Normans came down from France,
Right.
they had a huge impact too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were really instrumental in spreading Sicilian wines throughout Europe,
Wow.
which helped to establish the island as like a major player in the wine world.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they really put Sicilian wine on the map.
Now, the guidebook also mentioned a period when Sicilian winemaking shifted focus towards fortified wines.
Yes.
Especially Marsala.
Uh-huh.
What prompted that change?
Well, practicality played a big part, I think.
Boy,
Fortified wines with their higher alcohol content traveled well.
Right.
And they lasted longer.
Makes sense.
Which was super essential back then.
Wow.
And Marsala in particular became like really popular.
Yeah.
It had its moment in the spotlight.
It's interesting to think about a wine built for adventure, reflecting the island's seafaring history.
It's true.
Right.
It's a wine with a story.
But then the guidebook talks about a kind of renaissance in Sicilian winemaking.
Right.
What sparked that resurgence?
Yeah, I think it's a story of rediscovering roots.
Okay.
In recent decades, a new generation of like really passionate winemakers emerged.
Oh, cool.
Driven by this desire to like really showcase the unique terroirs of Sicily. They started focusing on indigenous grapes, experimenting with modern techniques, and really pushing the boundaries of quality.
It's like they took those ancient traditions and breathed new life into them.
Yeah, exactly. They revitalized Sicilian winemaking.
That's so fast.
And it's been really successful.
Yeah.
Sicilian wines are gaining global recognition now for their complexity, elegance, and, that unmistakable Sicilian character. They're winning awards and turning heads in the wine world.
That's great. It's inspiring to see how they've managed to preserve their heritage while also embracing innovation.
It's a delicate balance.
It is.
But they've done it.
Speaking of challenges, I'm curious about what it takes to actually make wine in such a unique environment like this.
It's not easy, that's for sure.
Yeah. What are some of the hurdles that Sicilian winemakers face?
Well, the climate is a major factor.
Okay.
Sicily's summers can be really intense.
Yeah.
Really hot and dry.
I can imagine.
Putting a lot of stress on the vines.
Wow.
So water management is absolutely crucial.
Right.
And it requires a really deep understanding of the land and its rhythms.
It's like a constant dance with nature.
It really is.
Trying to coax the best out of the grapes.
Exactly. Sicilian winemakers have become masters of adaptation.
Yeah.
They use techniques like careful pruning and drought-resistant rootstocks to combat the heat. And they pay really close attention to soil health, often using cover crops to retain moisture and enrich the soil.
So in a way, these challenges have kind of forced them to become even more innovative and resourceful.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And then you have the diverse terrain to contend with,
right.
From the volcanic slopes we talked about earlier to rolling hills and coastal plains.
Yeah.
Each area brings its own set of obstacles and opportunities.
Right.
Think about those vineyards clinging to the slopes of Mount Etna.
Oh, yeah.
It's backbreaking work.
Wow.
But the reward is definitely in the glass.
That's incredible. It's almost like those wines capture a bit of that struggle, that resilience in their flavor.
I think there's something to that.
Yeah.
And of course, there's the challenge of staying true to those ancient traditions while also meeting the demands of a modern market.
Right.
It's a really delicate balance.
It is.
But, Sicilian winemakers are doing an incredible job of navigating both worlds.
I'm so captivated by the story of Sicilian wine.
Me too. It's really fascinating.
It's a tale of resilience, innovation. And just like a deep connection to the land.
It's all there.
It is. In every bottle.
Speaking of stories, I'm eager to hear more about the actual taste experience.
Okay.
Can we dive into the flavors and aromas?
Let's do it.
That make these wines so special?
Get ready for a sensory adventure.
Okay.
We're going to uncork the world of Sicilian flavors.
Okay, so let's talk taste.
Yes.
After all this talk about volcanoes and history and unique grapes, I'm ready to uncork a bottle and experience these Sicilian wines for myself.
Me too.
So what kind of flavors can we expect?
Well, get ready for a burst of sunshine and earth.
Okay.
Sicilian wines are all about capturing the vibrancy of the island.
Okay, I like that.
So imagine bright, juicy citrus fruits.
Okay.
Lemons, grapefruits, maybe even a hint of lime zest.
Oh, yeah.
All layered with that distinct minerality that we've been talking about.
Right. It's like tasting the volcanic soil and the Mediterranean sunshine.
Wow.
All in one sip.
Now that's a tasting note I can get behind.
Right.
Are there any particular white wines that really showcase this vibrant citrusy character?
Oh, yeah. Like Catarratto.
Okay.
Sicily's most planted white grape.
Right.
It's a great example. The guidebook describes it as having these lovely herbal notes alongside the citrus.
Oh, wow.
Almost like walking through a lemon grove with a gentle breeze carrying the scent of wildflowers.
Okay, I need to try this Catarratto.
It's really good.
It sounds incredible.
All right, let's move on to the reds.
Okay, yes, let's do it.
What kind of flavors define the Sicilian red wine experience?
I'm ready.
Think bold, rich flavors.
Okay.
Nero d'Avola, the island's star red grape.
Mm-hmm.
It's known for its intense, dark fruit flavors.
Okay.
Like black cherries, plums, and blackberries.
Wow.
All wrapped up in a powerful structure.
Oh, like that.
The guidebook even mentions hints of spice, too.
Okay, like what?
Like black pepper licorice,
Oh.
adding another layer of complexity.
That sounds like a wine that can really stand up to a hearty meal.
Oh, for sure.
Are there any other red grapes that offer a slightly different expression of Sicilian terroir?
Definitely.
Okay.
So if Nero d'Avola is like the bold, powerful side of Sicily,
Okay.
Nerello Mescalese
Yeah.
is the elegant, nuanced side.
Okay.
Remember those unique volcanic notes we talked about?
Okay.
They really shine through in Nerello Mescalese,
Okay.
alongside brighter red fruit flavors like red cherry raspberry.
Oh, wow.
It's a wine that embodies the volcanic landscape.
Yeah.
Powerful yet refined.
This is making me want to book a flight to Sicily right now.
I know, right?
Are there any other red grapes we should be on the lookout for?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Frappato.
Okay.
It brings a lovely lightness and freshness to the blend,
Oh, cool.
with bright red fruit and a juicy, almost playful character.
Oh, nice.
It's the perfect wine for a warm evening,
Okay.
maybe enjoyed with some fresh seafood.
Wow, the diversity is incredible.
It is.
It's amazing how Sicilian winemakers manage to capture so much of the island's character in a bottle.
I know, it's really special.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to bring it back to you, the listener.
Mm-hmm.
What stands out to you about Sicilian wine
Yeah, what are you excited to try?
that has you excited to try a bottle?
Yeah. Is it the influence of Mount Etna?
Yeah.
That intriguing volcanic minerality?
Or maybe the blend of ancient traditions
Yeah.
and modern techniques.
What sparks your interest?
Yeah, the diversity of grapes,
Mm-hmm.
the commitment to sustainability.
Maybe it's that feeling of connection,
Yeah.
history, and a place that comes with every sip.
That's a good point.
So as you embark on your own exploration of Sicilian wine,
Yeah,
remember that this is just the beginning.
right.
Pay attention to the unique characteristics of
yeah.
each grape, the way the wine reflects its terroir,
Right.
and the stories that unfold with each sip.
And if you find yourself captivated by the magic of Sicilian wine,
Yeah.
maybe it's time to plan that trip
Uh-huh.
to experience the island for yourself.
Yeah,
After all, there's nothing quite like tasting wine where it's made,
I agree.
surrounded by the landscapes of the culture that shaped it.
You can't beat it.
And here's a final thought to leave you with.
Okay.
The guidebook mentioned that Sicilian wines are on the rise,
That's right.
gaining global recognition
They are.
for their quality and distinctive character.
It's an exciting time.
How do you think this rise in popularity will shape the future of Sicilian wine?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Will it change the way we think about Italian wine as a whole?
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
That's true.
But I have a feeling Sicilian wines are here to stay.
Yeah, I think so too.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
We hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to discover the world of Sicilian wine.
Until next time, happy exploring.
Yes, happy exploring, everyone.